Gadadhar Shiva Ravinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Good morning, everyone. We're continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7. Today we will begin chapter 10. Yesterday we completed the chapter 9 and we read a brief summary by Srila Prabhupada of what's going to come in chapter 10. Today we'll read verse by verse. Does anyone remember any main point from chapter 9? Any realization or any main teaching that struck?
Hare Krishna.
Hare
The
Krishna.
main was that only to be happy in this material world is by devotional service to Krishna, and it pleases Lord. And then Lord himself says that one who pleases me is always happy. There is no more lamentation for that person. So the only way to be happy in this material world is to please Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. So then
And
we will
Hare
begin the
Krishna.
chapter. Hare Krishna.
And Krishna. And also we heard that Krishna is referred to as Nirguna. So Nirguna means that one who possesses no material qualities. He doesn't possess material, but only transcendental qualities. Yeah.
Only transcendental. Yeah, because people misunderstand Nirguna as thinking no quality. But Nirguna
Yeah.
actually means no material, but having spiritual quality. Yes, thank you.
And he's also Bhakta Vatsalya.
Bhakta
Bhaktavats. Yeah.
Vatsal. Yeah,
Very
Bhakta Vatsal.
important. Yeah, he's Bhakta
That's
Vatsalya.
his very attractive quality of Krishna.
Yes.
Bhakta Vatsal. Okay. So, Shri Narada Vacha,
Srinarada
Uvacha.
Bhakti Yogasya Tatsarvam,
Bhakti
Bhakti
Yogasya
Yogasya Tatsarvam.
Antaryatyarbhakaha,
Antarayatyarbhakaha
Manyaman. I'm sorry, Hare Krishna. Okay, Manyamano Rishikesham,
Manyamano Rishikesha
Smayamana Uvachaha.
Samyamana Uvacha.
In translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Saint Narad Muni continued, although Prahlāda Maharaj was only a boy, when he heard the benedictions offered by Lord Nrsimhadev, he considered them impediments on the path of devotional service. Thus he smiled very mildly and spoke as follows. Material achievements are not the ultimate goal of devotional service. The ultimate goal of devotional service is love of Godhead. Therefore, although Prahlāda Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, and many devotee kings were materially very opulent, they accepted their material opulence in the service of the Lord, not for their personal sense gratification. Of course, possessing material opulence is always fearful, because under the influence of material opulence, one may be misdirected from devotional service. Nonetheless, a pure devotee, Anyabilashita Shunya, is never misdirected by material opulence. On the contrary, whatever he possesses, he engages 100% in the service of the Lord. When one is allured by material possessions, they are considered to be given by Maya. But when one uses material possessions fully for service, they are considered God's gifts or facilities offered by Krishna for enhancing one's devotional service. So Prahlāda Maharaj, he just wanted devotional service. Although he right away became the king. So he's become the king of the whole universe. But yet he's just asking the Lord, give me pure devotional service, service to your devotee, he's saying. I don't want to forget service to your devotee. So Prabhupada here is saying that when one is using possessions for oneself, it's given by Maya. When one is using for Krishna's service, it's given by Krishna. And it's not, somebody may say, oh, if I become a devotee, then devotee have nothing. But here already we are seeing examples, Prahlāda Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, then Yudhishthir Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, they are emperors. So they are so opulent, so powerful, so much wealth. And they were devotees of the Lord. Shri Prahlāda Vachan.
Shri Prahlāda Vachan.
Mamam pralobhayotpatya.
Mamam
Pralopaya
Saktam kameshu ter pare.
Satsam
Kameshu te pareha.
Satsanga bhito nirvinno.
Satsanga bhito nirvinno.
Mumukshustvam upashritaha.
Tvam upashritaha.
Prahlāda Maharaj said, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I was born in an atheistic family, I am naturally attached to material enjoyment. Therefore, kindly do not tempt me with these illusions. I am very much afraid of material conditions, and I desire to be liberated from materialistic life. It is for this reason that I have taken shelter of your lotus feet. Materialistic life means attachment to the body and everything in relationship to the body. This attachment is based on lusty desires for sense gratification, specifically sexual enjoyment. Kamesteste rita jnana. When one is too attached to material enjoyment, he is bereft of all knowledge, rita jnana. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, those who are attached to material enjoyment are mostly inclined to worship the demigods to procure various material opulences. They are especially attached to worship of the goddess Durga and Lord Shiva because this transcendental couple can offer their devotees all material opulence. So Lord Shiva and Durga Devi, they are the caretakers of this material world. So then, of course, they can give material opulence. And so that's why we see majority of the people are their devotees. But Bhagavatam says, even if you desire material opulence, come to me, Krishna, come to Krishna. Because Krishna will give material opulence and also take us out of this material world. Prahlāda Maharaj, however, was detached from all material enjoyment. He therefore took shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimhadev and not the feet of any demigod. It is to be understood that if one really wants release from this material world, from the threefold miseries, and from Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, birth, death, old age, and disease, one must take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For without the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot get release from materialistic life. Krishna is saying, right? In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 14. Does anyone remember that verse? Sneha, you remember?
Devahi es gunmaya.
Yeah, Devahi Eshagunmai. That's right. Devahi Eshagunmai. Devi Eshagunmai.
Mamaya durattaya.
Mam ekam
Tarantite.
eka ye prapadyante mayam etam
Mayam etam tarantite.
tarantite. Yeah. So he's saying that this material world very difficult to overcome. But one who surrenders to me very easily can cross beyond it. Atheistic men are very much attached to material enjoyment. Therefore, if they get some opportunity to achieve more and more material enjoyment, they take it. Prahlāda Maharaj, however, was very careful in this regard. Although born of a materialistic father, because he was a devotee, he had no material desires. Anya Vilashita Shunyam. Because Lord Nrsimhadev asked them, what do you want? I'll fulfill your desire. And Prahlāda Maharaj said, no, I just want service to your servant. That's it. I don't want anything else. Vritya Lakshana Jigyasur.
Vritya Lakshana
Lakshana
Jigya
Jigyasu.
Bhaktam Kameshwa Achodaya.
Bhaktam Kameshwa Achodaya.
Bhavan Samsara Bijeshu.
Bhavam
Bhavan
Samsara
Samsara
Bijesu.
Bijesu.
Hridaya Granthishu Prabhu.
Hridaya
Hridaya
Grantishu
Grantishu
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
O my worshipable Lord, because of the seed of lusty desires, which is the root cause of material existence, is within the core of everyone's heart. You have sent me to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu has given considerable discussion about Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha devotees. So who are the Nitya Siddha? Nitya Siddha devotees, they come from Vaikuntha to this material world to teach by their personal example how to become a devotee. So these devotees are coming from the spiritual world. So someone may ask, oh, how do you know, is this knowledge true or no? Well, these devotees, they have seen the spiritual world. They're living in the spiritual. They're coming from the spiritual world to speak to us about the spiritual world. Just like, for example, suppose, for example, before there was not so much travel, not so much aeroplane and all that. And people are in Taiwan. And then somebody is coming from America and speaks about America. Suppose from Taiwan, nobody has gone to America. So nobody knows anything about America. But somebody from America is coming and saying, the roads are like this in America, the food is like this, the dress is like this, the climate is like this, the currency is like this. So then we take it as authority. Yes, this person has come from America, so he's telling us about America, so his information is correct. So these devotees are coming from the spiritual world to tell us about the spiritual. The living entities in this material world can take lessons from such Nitya Siddha devotees and thus become inclined to return home back to Godhead. A Nitya Siddha devotee comes from Vaikuntha upon the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and shows by his example how to become a pure devotee, Anyabilashita. So these Nitya Siddhas, the pure devotees, are coming, and what are they doing? They're telling us, come to the spiritual world, come how to purify our desires. They're showing us how to become pure devotees. So in spite of coming to this material world, the Nitya Siddha devotee is never attracted by the allurements of material enjoyment. So Nitya Siddha devotee, even if he's coming to this material world, is still liberated. He has no desire to enjoy the material world because he's already under the shelter of the spiritual energy. He's coming from the spiritual world. He's experiencing the highest enjoyment. So he doesn't want to enjoy the lower enjoyment. When we get accustomed to enjoying higher and higher things, then we don't want the lower enjoyment, right? So the Nitya Siddha devotee, they are enjoying spiritual happiness. So a perfect example is Prahlāda Maharaj, who was a Nitya Siddha, a Mahabhagavad devotee. Although Prahlāda was born in the family of Hiranyakashipu, an atheist, he was never attached to any kind of materialistic enjoyment. Desiring to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee, the Lord tried to induce Prahlāda Maharaj to take material benedictions. But Prahlāda Maharaj did not accept them. On the contrary, by his personal example, he showed the symptoms of a pure devotee. In other words, the Lord himself has no desire to send his pure devotee to this material world, nor does a devotee have any material purpose in coming. So it's not that this Nitya Siddha, they want to come to material world to enjoy the material world. They have nothing to do here in the material world. They're already enjoying higher enjoyment, spiritual enjoyment. But they're coming on the order of Krishna. Why? For us, to tell us about the spiritual world, to bring us back home, back to Godhead. when the Lord himself appears as an incarnation within this material world, he is not allured by the material atmosphere, and he has nothing to do with material activity. Yet, by his example, he teaches the common man how to become a devotee. Similarly, a devotee who comes here in accordance with the order of the Supreme Lord shows by his personal behavior how to become a pure devotee. A pure devotee, therefore, is a practical example for all living entities, including Lord Brahma. So, pure devotee is coming for our benefit, for our sake, to tell us about the spiritual world, to tell us about the absolute truth. Comments? Questions?
Live by example as a devotee.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear very well.
Live by example as a good devotee.
Live by example as a pure devotee. Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So Nitya Siddhas, they are coming from the spiritual world, I'm sorry. And Sadhana Siddha devotee, here Prabhupada mentions Sadhana Siddha devotees. Those are the devotees who become perfect by doing sadhana bhakti, by following rules and regulations. Then one can become also perfect. One can become a pure devotee also. And then once one goes back to the spiritual world, there is no difference between the Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha. You know, there's no difference. They're all pure devotees. Okay. Next 4. Nanyata
Hare
te
Krishna,
khila.
Prabhuji. That
Hare
means that
Krishna.
everybody in the spiritual world is Nitya Siddha.
Huh? I'm sorry.
In the spiritual world, Hare, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the spiritual world, everyone is Nitya Siddha,
Yeah. Everyone is Nitya
right?
Siddha, spiritual world. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's because one may become a sadhana siddha and then go to the
Yeah.
spiritual world, and you also become Nitya Siddha then.
Nitya
There's no
Siddha, yeah.
difference. Yeah, there's no
Okay.
difference.
So you mean like they fall from the Vaikuntha and they become sadhana siddha, right? That's what it means.
No. Nobody fall. No.
No,
Fall
because
means
sadhana
fall.
siddha is okay.
Nitya Siddhas, and they don't fall down. Falling means getting
No,
entrapped by Maya. The Nitya Siddhas are coming here under
yeah,
Krishna's
for,
order
yeah, for our benefit, right?
for our benefit. Doesn't mean that they have fallen down.
No, what I mean is for the sadhana siddha devotees.
Yes.
So they are those who fall from the Vaikuntha, right? And become
No.
materially conditioned.
No. Sadhana Siddha are devotees who are right now in the material world and they are doing sadhana bhakti. They are following the rules and regulations. Oh, my spiritual master told me I must chant like this. I must hear like this. I must worship the deity. You know, that's sadhana bhakti, right? So they're following
Yeah.
all the rules and regulations. So they're doing bhakti, following the rules and regulations. And by doing that regularly, then they also become pure devotees. And then they are called sadhana siddha, that they are becoming siddha by doing sadhana.
Okay, because earlier I think much earlier we had read about Nitya Badas and
That
Nitya
is,
Muktas. So
that is
see,
Nitya
Nitya
Bada and
Badas are
Nitya,
like us, right?
that's right.
Mm.
Bada means bound. It's
Yeah,
bound,
bound,
right? Yeah.
right?
Nitya Bada, we are eternally bound. We are eternally conditioned. And the Nitya Siddha, what
Nitya
was that? Nitya
Muktas,
Bada,
Nitya Muktas.
Nitya Mukta. Nitya Mukta, they are eternally liberated. They are in the spiritual
Yeah,
world.
they understood. Yeah.
So a Nitya Bada can, by sadhana bhakti, become a sadhana siddha.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what we are
by
all
sadhana.
encouraged to do. Yeah, we are all encouraged to become sadhana siddha. We are all encouraged to take up sadhana bhakti and become pure devotees by engaging in sadhana. Because see, like, we may not feel like chanting, we may not feel like worshipping, but okay, no, I need to do it. I must do it because it's the order given to me. So I must do it. So that is how sadhana bhakti begins, following the rules and regulations. Then gradually, as one continues to follow, then purification happens. Anartha nivritti, nishtha, then ruchi, ashakti, then all those stages happen. Right? Is that okay?
Yeah, I know. I'm just going through my old notes. So it says here, sadhana siddhas, devotees are those who fell from the Vaikuntha and became materially conditioned, but who have since become liberated by following in the footsteps of Nitya Siddhas. So I'm
Okay.
just like a bit confused. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So but the point to understand is that one becomes perfect by doing sadhana bhakti. Then you are sadhana siddha, like that.
Then you
Pure
become
devotee.
sadhana.
Yeah, pure devotee by doing sadhana bhakti.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Can we stop here?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you all so much.
You.
Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad
Jai.
Jai.
Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta
Jai.
ki jai. Hare